Magandang umaga, nagpapatuloy po ngayong araw ang pagdinig sa Kongreso sa madugong engkwentro sa Mama sa Panong sa Maguindanao noong January 25. Panoorin po natin ito. Sa naunang pagdinig ng Kongreso noong February 11, hindi dumalo si Moro Islamic Liberation Front Chief Negotiator Muhajer Iqbal sa pagdinig ng mababang kapulungan. Pero muli siyang nagpadala ng sulat kung saan nakasaad na dadalo lamang siya kapag natapos na ang sariling investigasyon ng MILF. Muli ring iginiit doon ng dating hepe ng PNP Special Action Force na si Police Director Getulio Napeñas na walang direktang utos si Pangulong Aquino na ituloy o i-abort ang misyon. Inihayag din niyang muli na inaprubahan ni dating PNP Chief Director General Alan Purisima ang operasyon noong hindi pa siya suspendido bilang hepe ng PNP. Sinabi rin ni Napeñas na kung maaga lang dumating ang artillery fire ng Philippine Army ay hindi raw magiging ganoon karami ang nasawi sa hanay ng PNP SAF. Sa pagtatanong naman ni Iloilo Representative Neil Tupas Jr., sinabi ni Presidential Advisor on the Peace Process, Teresita Deles, na hindi hadlang ang peace agreement ng gobyerno sa MILF sa pagsisilbi ng warrants of arrest laban sa mga wanted terrorist na sina Zulkifli Binhir alias Marwan at Basit Usman. Tinanong din ni Muntinlupa Representative Rodolfo Biazon sa pagdinig kung bakit hindi isinama ni Napeñas sa plano ang kanyang direct superior na si PNP Officer in Charge Deputy Director General Leonardo Espina. Pero giit noon ni Purisima, hindi umiiral sa PNP ang konsepto ng chain of command dahil isa itong civilian body. Ang umiiral lamang daw sa PNP ay ang mga prinsipyo ng supervision, direction, control of delegation of powers. At ayon pa kay Purisima, maaaring i-delegate sa subordinate officials ang ilang kapangyarihan ng PNP chief sa kaso raw ng Oplan Exodus sa hepe ng PNP SAF. Naging emosyonal naman si Espina sa isang bahagi ng pagdinig. Hindi raw siya nakatulog nang makita ang mga medico-legal report sa pagkamatay ng kanyang mga tauhan. Ang ilang PNP SAF commando naman wala naman daw tinamong mga lethal shot. Pero paano raw sila namatay? May ilan din daw na binaril sa ulo at hinubaran pa di umano ng bulletproof vest. Ayon kay Espina, humihingi siya ng mga kasagutan para sa kanyang mga tauhan. Samantala, ipinunto ni Bayan Muna Party List Representative Nery Colmenares na hindi dapat sisihin ang PNP sa engkwentro sa Mama sa Pano dahil hindi naman daw tinutulan ni Pangulong Aquino ang plano ng pag-usapan nito sa Malacanang noong January 9. Kung ayaw ng Pangulo ang plano, dapat daw ay pinigilan niya ito. Iminungkahi ni Colmenares na padaluhin si Pangulong Aquino sa susunod na pagdinig pero bumoto ang Committee on Public Order and Safety kontra rito. At kaugnay po ng isinasagawang pagdinig na yan sa mababang kapulungan sa madugong engkwentro sa Mama sa Pano, makakausap po natin ang ating kasama si Victoria Tulad. Victoria? Victoria? Victoria?
Cedric, anumang oras mula ngayon ay magsisimula na itong ikalawang pagdinig ng mababang kapulungan nga tungkol dito sa madugong engkwentro sa Mama sa Pano encounter. Sa ngayon, naririto na sa loob ng Nograles Hall sa South Wing Annex sila DILG Secretary Mar Rojas. Nakita rin natin kanina si AFP Chief of Staff Katapang. Narito rin ang nagbitiw na PNP Chief na si Alan Purisima, si PNP OIC Deputy Director General Leonardo Espina at ang dating SAF Director na si Getulio Napeñas. Ayon sa ugat ni Napeñas, mariing iginigiit pa rin ni Napeñas na nagkaroon nga ng madugong pagpatay mula dito sa bahagi ng MILF sa kanilang mga tauhan dahil nga doon sa kalalabas lamang na IMT o International Monitoring Team na report ay sinasabi na wala naman daw murder na nangyari dito sa SAF 44 pero hindi nga ito ang iginigiit ng kampo ni Napeñas. Dumating din dito kanina, Cedric, yung mahigit 20 kaanak ng SAF 4. Kaunti lamang sa kanila ang pinapasok sa loob ng Nograles Hall dahil masyado na raw puno itong loob ng kwarto. At sa ngayon, yung marami sa kanila ay pinaakyat sa ikalawang palapag nitong gusali kung saan mapapanood naman daw nila itong pagdinig. Sa ngayon, 12 lamang doon sa mga relatives ang pinapasok dito nga sa loob ng hearing room. At inaasahan daw nila na marami pa o ilan pa ang darating na kaanak maya-maya lamang. Mahigpit talaga itong security na ginagawa dito sa may South Wing Annex ngayon, Cedric, yun lamang media na may sticker ang maaaring pumasok. Kaya marami sa ibang media ay nasa labas na lamang nitong silid para mag-abang ng iba pang darating na resource person. Ang sinasabi nga ng mga mambabatas na nakausap natin, Cedric, bagaman nagkaroon na ng hearing sa Senado, meron na ring DOI report at Senate report, ay meron pa rin sila mga nais linawin gaya na lamang ng mga text messages pa rin ni Pangulong Aquino kay Purisima at maging yung involvement ng Amerika at pati na rin ang papel na ginampanan ng AFP. May mga nagtatanong kasi bakit inabot ng halos 11 oras bago nakapagbigay ng artillery support itong AFP. Cedric?
Victoria, isa sa mga hinihintay dyan, I guess, yung mga magiging sagot ni Pangulong Aquino kung meron man dun sa listahan, I suppose, na ibinigay ng Makabayan Bloc. Meron ba tayong information kung ano yung alam natin so far tungkol dyan?
Sa ngayon, Cedric, wala pa tayong impormasyon kung meron bang ipinadala itong Malacanang na sagot doon nga sa 20 katanungan ng Makabayan Bloc. Tinanong natin kahapon kung inimbitahan ba itong dalawang komite si Pangulong Aquino, pero gaya nga nung napagkasundoan noong unang hearing noong February 11 ay hindi na inimbitahan si Pangulong Aquino dahil sa kanyang executive privilege. Alamin pa natin mamaya, Cedric, kung meron nga siyang sagot dito sa mga katanungang ito. Cedric?
Okay, maraming salamat, Victoria Tulad. Pakinggan po natin itong pagpapatuloy ng live dyan sa may Kongreso sa Mama Sapano hearing ngayong araw.
Secretariat and other guests here today for the successful outcome of our meeting. We seek your help with our affairs today. Bless this meeting with your divine intelligence and help us to make the best use of ours. We are of diverse opinion here, Lord, yet we wish to mend our differences and reach an agreement satisfactory to all. Help us to be wise in the decisions we make for the good of all those who have placed their trust and confidence in our leadership, as well as for the good and unity of our country. Give us insight to lead with integrity, that our decisions may reflect what is right and what is good. Keep us from short-sightedness and pettiness, and guard us from blind self-interest. Grant us the humility to always seek your will in all that we do and say. Finally, we ask again, O Lord, that you take into your keeping all those who perished in Mamapasano. All glory be to you, loving God, now and always, through Christ and the Holy Spirit, forever and ever. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Madam Ampin. To determine the members present, the Chair directs the COMSEC to call the roll of members of the Committee on Public Order and Safety.
Roll call of members: Ferrer Jeffrey, Acop Romeo, Lanete Scott Davis, Pagdilaw Samuel, Torres Gomez Lucy, Sarmiento Mel Senen, Garay Florencio, Romarate Guillermo, Colliantes Nelson, Biazon Rodolfo, Cari Jose Carlos, Bernos Maria Jocelyn, Cuwa Daquila Carlo, Mendoza Joselito, Erice Edgar, Lechon Paulino Salvador, Goriseta Arcadio, Kalalay Francisco, Reyes Regina, Acharon Pedro, Erigel Eufranio, Hagedorn Douglas, Ponce Enrile Salvacion, Mendoza Mark Leandro, Batawil Leopoldo, Ting Randolph, Loong Tupay, Antonino Nadres Magnolia Rosa, Sakaluran Raden, Dayang Hirang Nelson, Abu Raneo, Pacquiao Emmanuel, Garcia Gwendolyn, Lobregat Celso, Angping Maria Zenaida, Aglipay Emeline, Ferrer de Fort John John, Bichara Al Francis, Matugas Francisco, Belmonte Vicente, Chodoro Marcelino, Tupas Jr. Neil, Ungab Isidro, Sarmiento Cesar, Ong Emil, Dimaporo Imelda, Alejano Gary, Halusos Seth Frederick, Zarate Carlos Izagani, Albano Rodolfo. Nineteen members, Mr. Chair, responding to the call.
The chair also directs the COMSEC of the Peace and Reconciliation Committee to call the roll of its members.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the part of Special Committee on Peace, Reconciliation, and Unity, Hataman Saliman Jim, Sakdalan Jesus, Lobregat Celso, Bagilat Teddy Bronner, Biason Rodolfo, Sema Baisandra, Sahali Ruby, Belmonte Jose Christopher, Rodriguez Maximo, Batawi Leopoldo, Hagedorn Douglas, Pagdilaw Samuel, Turabin Hataman City Jalia, Alejano Gary, Loong Tupay, Katamko Nancy, Sakaluran Raden, Rodriguez Rufus, Belio Silvestre Bebot. Hindi. There are 10 members who responded to the roll call, Mr. Chairman.
Just for the record,
Yes,
Mr. Chairman,
Congressman,
I would like to manifest that I have been deputized by the Speaker to be a member of this committee, and therefore I would provide the authorization to the COMSEC.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, before
Mr. Chairman,
before any reaction to that,
yeah, for the record also,
we are going to call also the members who are being deputized, and may I ask the COMSEC to call those that have been deputized by the members of this committee. Thank you.
Members deputized to the Committee on Public Order, Fariñas Rodolfo, Abaya Francis Gerald, Kimbo Federico, Evardone Ben, and Pakis Leia.
On the part of the Special Committee on Peace, Reconciliation, and Unity, the deputized members are for Speaker Feliciano Belmonte, Honorable Elpidio Barzaga, for Deputy Speaker Henedina Abad, Honorable Josephine Sato, for Majority Floor Neptali Gonzales, Honorable Henry Owaminal, and for Senior Deputy Majority Leader George Bolet Banal, Honorable Ben Everdone, and for Deputy Minority Leader Carol Jaime Lopez, Honorable Leia Pakis. There are 5 deputized members, Your Honor.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Chairman,
yes, Congressman Agam.
will the record also please reflect that this representation is present here in today's hearing in his capacity as Deputy Speaker and ex-officio member of both committees. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very
Mr.
much,
Chairman.
Congressman Agam.
Mr. Chairman,
Deputy Speaker Apostol, you're recognized.
may I just make it a record that as a regular member of this committee, because deputy speakers are all regular members of the committee, that I am present.
Thank you very much. Please, members,
There is a quorum.
and yes, Congressman Pagdilaw,
Unless
we're not yet finished with our roll call, and some of the members and the leaders of this house we will recognize later after the roll call.
Yeah, I just want to bring to the attention of
and
the
also,
committee, Mr. Chair.
After this, we will recognize the presence of our Speaker of the House, Speaker Belmonte, and our Minority Leader, Sir, Congressman Zamora. Kaya ilang present? Oh, ilang present? Present sa committee mo.
Sa akin is 19, ay 10 ang present,
Then,
19 ang members.
19 total. Total.
And 10 ang
Hindi na, okay na, total. 19.
that is ito, including deputies, 5.
Sino ba yung total na? 19, di ba? With the 19 members of the Committee on Public Order and Safety and 19 members of the Special Committee on Peace, Reconciliation and Unity, responding to the call, the Chair declares the presence of a quorum.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Congressman Pagdilaw.
may I now move for the approval of the minutes of our previous meeting held last February 11, and at the same time dispense with its reading, Mr. Chairman.
There is a motion to approve the minutes on our first hearing and duly seconded.
There being no objection.
Is there an objection?
No, Mr. Chair, just
Yes.
the query. The minutes were just submitted today, so if we could be given time to go through it and then we can approve it tomorrow, Mr. Chair, if that would be possible.
If that will take a few minutes, then I think it. Can we not go over as we go along if there are some comments or any suggestions with regards to that?
Yeah,
Can
okay.
we just ask
Can
the
we just
council?
approve it later during the day so we can? Because if we suspend to
Okay,
read the minutes, it will take time, Mr. Chairman.
There is a motion. Is there any objection to that? Is that an objection or that's a suggestion?
Mr. Chair?
Mr. Chair, I object. I
There's-
object in that sense, Mr. Chair, because we don't even have a copy of the minutes here. At least Congressman Lobregat has a copy. So if you are going to call for a vote, we
Mr.
will
Chair?
object, Mr. Chair.
Yes,
May I be acknowledged?
Congressman.
Since this representation raised as a motion the approval of the minutes of the previous meeting without and dispensing with the reading, I now amend such motion.
Yes.
The motion now will be to dispense with the approval of the minutes so that we can proceed with our proceedings with our Mr.
Is there any objection to the amendment of the motion of the Honorable Pagdilaw? There being none, let's proceed with the meeting. Thank you. Motion is approved.
The Chair requests the COMSEC to please acknowledge the presence of our distinguished House members and guests and resource person.
The presence of the following members is hereby acknowledged. The Speaker of the House, the Honorable Belmonte, Deputy Majority Leader Arthur Defensor Jr., Minority Leader Ronaldo Zamora, Senior Deputy Minority Leader Nery Colmenares, Rep. Luz Viminda Ilagan, Rep. Manguda Datu, Rep. Antonio Tino, Rep. Emmy De Jesus, Rep. Terry De Ridon, Rep. Carlo Nograles, Rep. Baby Arenas, Rep. Amang Magsaysay, Rep. Ferdinand Hernandez, Rep. Fernando Hicap, Rep. Silvestre Bello, and Rep. Kimi Coangco. guess. I'm sorry, Rep. Edgar Erice. Rep. Kit Belmonte. Rep. Cesar Sarmiento. Rep. Victor Yu. Done na. Wala. Member po nakasama sa members. May nag-roll call of members. The presence of the following resource persons and guests is hereby acknowledged. From the Department of Interior and Local Government, Secretary Mar Rojas. From the Department of National Defense, Secretary Voltaire Gasmin. From the Office of the Presidential Advisor on the Peace Process, Secretary Teresita Quintos Deles. From the Armed Forces of the Philippines, General Gregorio Pio Ponsalan Katapang, Lieutenant General Rustico Guerrero, Major General Edmundo Pangilinan, Brigadier General Carlito Galvez, Brigadier General Manolito Orense, Director General Cesar Garcia from the National Security Advisor, and from the National Intelligence Coordinating Office, from the Philippine National Police, Police Director General Alan Purisima, Director General Leonardo Espina, Police Director Benjamin Magalong, Chairman of the Board of Inquiry, Director Getulio Napeñas. In attendance also, another House member, Rep. Marcy Teodoro. Yes, sir.
To the members of the House of Representatives, thank you for your presence. And to the invited guest and resource person, thank you very much for your presence. Colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Before we go any further, the chair would like to make an appeal. The result of our hearing dated February 11, 2015 has caused varying reactions to the public, from the public. We are accused of grandstanding, chaotic conduct during the proceedings, and non-observance of proper decorum. Even your chairman was not spared of comments from people who are not well versed of our rules. Criticisms, after all, are part of public service. But we, however, have families who are affected by these criticisms, and it is difficult to see them suffer. Consequently, your chair personally appeals for your cooperation in order to change the negative impressions of this institution as created in the minds of the public. The chair suggests that, if possible, we avoid questioning our own rules of procedure. For it is we who crafted these rules. These rules were not meant to give advantage to anyone, but only to facilitate the orderly proceedings and to inquire our questions. To our inquiries serve the purpose. the chair assures that every members of this committee will be given a chance to speak. All I ask is patience in waiting for each one's turn. Finally, the chair suggests that if possible, we observe proper decorum in benefiting the stature of this institution. These agreements are part of every hearing, but they should be raised with utmost respect to our colleagues' sensitivities. By doing this, we can show the public that we are worthy members of the House of Representatives. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wal barakatuh. Good morning, everyone. I join my colleague, Congressman Jeffrey F. P. Ferrer, Chair of the Committee on Public Order, in welcoming you to the resumption of the House inquiry on the Mama Sapano incident. I am delighted that our colleagues have managed to find the time to attend this legislative inquiry despite the fact that Congress is presently in a long recess. That being said, let me extend my apologies to our colleagues for consuming a portion of your time on our legislative recess, which is usually spent for constituency work in our respective districts. The resumption of this joint committee hearing highlights the transcendental importance of this inquiry to our national government's primordial agenda to forge a peace agreement with the Moro Islamic Liberation Front in Muslim Mindanao. Undoubtedly, this single and exceptional incident not only undermined the gains of the peace-building efforts of our government, but also inadvertently exposed a gap in the institutional mechanisms of the peace process to ensure a stable security situation in Mindanao. It is therefore our duty to find the cause of this gap and provide solutions to plug it, for we cannot forge a credible peace agreement when mistrust on both sides of the peace table is high. We are well aware of the results of the parallel investigations that had been conducted by the Senate and the Philippine National Police. And we feel that there are still questions that have been left unanswered and continue to linger in the probing minds of our people. However, it is not our intention to supplant or challenge the results of this investigation. We do not want to add yet another layer of confusion. We can only hope that our inquiry will be able to elicit more facts and clarify uncertainties in the respective reports which incidentally are already of public knowledge. We also feel that it is now an opportune time to continue this House inquiry when emotions have subsided and where we can proceed to fulfill our duties with greater sobriety, fairness, and objectivity. Admittedly, our first hearing fell short of the people's expectation when we allowed our unbridled passion to get over our sense of decorum. Let us not allow that to happen again. Let us prove to our countrymen the importance and necessity of this inquiry to help ensure the rendition of justice to all victims, and not to unwittingly stoke the flames of retribution or revenge. I am therefore appealing to our colleagues to be more discerning in putting forward their concerns and questions in order to ensure an orderly proceeding. We will strictly enforce rules, particularly on time limitation, in order to give ample opportunity for all members to propound questions. We also appeal to you not to ask repetitive questions, to enable us to cover more grounds and to avoid giving undue burden to our guests and resource persons. Certainly, there are many things that need to be improved, and this should be in place and observed not only for today, but in the succeeding hearings. Let me emphasize that while the House of Representatives has the duty and authority to proceed with and conclude this investigation, our ultimate objective would be to ensure the credibility, fairness, and independence of our proceedings. Remember that our nation's eyes are upon us and that the manner by which we will conduct this inquiry will reflect not only upon our individual credibility as legislators, but more importantly, to the integrity of the House of Representatives as an institution. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wal barakatuh.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Chair? Mr. Chair?
Before the chair could recognize Representative, I would like to continue with some reminders on the procedure of this meeting.
But Chairman Saliman, before you proceed, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Deputy Speaker Balindong and Congressman Kimbo. And also Congresswoman Reyes.
Just a few sub-reminders to the members of this committee, two committees. First is to continue list of the interpolators from previous meeting. And second, if a member on the list is called but is not present, she or he forfeits his place in the list. If she will come later, he or she will have to enlist again. If there is time, we may have a second round. There will be a fresh list, and we shall give preference to committee members. When another member has questions related to the points of query of current interpolator, the member must wait for his turn to speak. We shall give each member uninterrupted 5 minutes to ask questions. Gentlemen's agreement. When interpellation is finished in less than 5 minutes, the 5-minute time is considered consumed. Appeal to the members, waiver of time in favor of another colleague is not encouraged. We will have a bell that is going to be ring. When the bell rings, it is a signal that the current interpellator has 1 last minute to propound questions. That's the bell. That's the bell. Also, on the rules, just a reminder, all questions, comments, motions should be directed to the chair. If you wish to speak, please wait to be recognized by the chair. In order to use the time of all attendees as effectively as possible, we will strictly enforce the 5-minute rules allocation without interruption. Any unused time shall be, of course, that had been mentioned already. Any member who has said the floor once during a debate may not have it again while the same issue is being debated. If there is any member who has not a chance to speak, then members may seek the floor a second time. Only members of the committee can make motions. When a motion is adopted or lost, a member who voted with the majority may move for its consideration. Only one motion for reconsideration shall be allowed. Section 1. A member of which the author of a bill is a resolution referred to as a committee, or if there are several authors, the first author's name in the bill or resolution, or their duly designated co-authors, as the case may be, shall be considered as members of the committee for referral for the purpose and throughout the duration of the consideration of said bill or resolution, but shall have no vote in the committee. Thank you. Just a reminder.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Chair, Mr. Chair.
Yes, the Honorable Tinio.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. To Chairman Ferrer and Chairman Hataman Saliman, noong March 30 po ay nagpadala ako kasama ni Congressman Hiccup ng Anak Pawis ng komunikasyon sa Joint Committee na hinihiling na imbitahin si Pangulong Aquino sa hearing na ito upang sumagot ng 20 tanong. At kalakip po dun sa sulat, yung 20 tanong hinggil sa kaalaman ni Pangulong Aquino at sa naging papel niya sa mga pangyayari sa Mama Sapano. So, maaari po ba, Mr. Chair, malaman kung anong aksyon ang nagawa na o gagawin ng Joint Committee hinggil sa aming kahilingan, yung formal na request po na imbitahin si Pangulong Aquino?
Sa kasagutan sa kagalang-galang na Tinio, nabasa ko po yung sulat na naka-address kay Chair Ferrer. And consistent with our first ruling during the first hearing that we had, and if we remember it right, we already have voted unanimous majority of those members that are present at that time na hindi po natin pwedeng imbitahin si Presidente. At napagbotohan na po natin yung motion na yon at natandaan ko may succeeding motion na ang kagalang-galang na Tinio na ni-raise again at that time at nagrulang chair. Again, consistent with this, ang napagkasunduan namin dalawa ay pareho po sa ruling na binigay namin noon sa first hearing natin. Maraming salamat.
Mr. Chair, naintindihan ko po nung panahon ng unang hearing, may mga specific question po noon na pinagmulan ng motion para imbitahin si Pangulo. Pero marami na pong nangyari mula nung panahon yon, maraming mga developments. At kung mamarapatin niyo po, babasahin ko lang mga salita mismo ni Pangulong Aquino, no? Hinggil sa
Point of order, Mr. Chair.
hinggil sa
Point of order, Mr. Chair. We have a list of congressmen who will ask questions, and Congressman Tino has taken his time during the last hearing, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair.
Before the other members could, if I may remind the Honorable Tinio, na yung pong mga questions, una-una nabasa po ng marami na ng members ng House at particularly itong committee na ito, tingin ko po hindi na natin kailangan i-expound. At again, may I reiterate na yung ruling po ng chair base po sa mga nakaraan na rulings dahil ang nakita natin ang first motion na ni-raise nung kagalang-galang na Colmenares ay upang pasagutin ang ating presidente. At unanimous, karamihan po sa atin ay bumoto na hindi natin imbitahin ng presidente. At ngayon, yung the same, yung intention po ay upang tanungin at pasagutin natin ang ating presidente. The chairs again reiterated that we will the same rule that na hindi po natin pwede imbitahin ng ating presidente. Maraming salamat.
Mr. Chair, si
Mr. Chair.
Pangulong Aquino mismo po ang nagsabi, imbis na magtanong sa akin,
Mr. Chair,
ay
Mr. Chair,
naglagay
point of
ng
order.
spekulasyon
Point of order, Mr.
ang
Chair.
mga
In
gumawa
order to
ng
provide
ulat.
I recognize other members also who want to raise the points.
Mr.
the
Chair.
Honorable Barisaga is
Mr. Chair,
Thank you very much. I have been recognized.
Yes, yes.
Thank you very much for recognizing this representation. Well, the issue being presented by the Makabayan Bloc, that is whether or not the President has to appear before today's hearing or to answer the 20 questions which were published in the newspaper would be of transcendental importance. Requiring the President to appear here or even to answer the questions would create far-reaching consequences which would affect the very foundations of our democracy, and that would be the separation of power as well as the basic rule of co-equality among the three branches of the government, namely the judiciary, the executive, and the House. I have been a member of this House since 2007. There are various instances wherein RTC judges have been invited by the various committees to appear in our investigation in aid of legislation. And the Supreme Court, through each court administrator, is always saying that we do not have the right to require justices to appear in our investigation, invoking separation of power as well as independence of the judiciary.
Mr. Chairman,
May be permitted to complete my answer.
Yes, the Honorable Barsaga is still recognized, and if other members would like to comment, please address the chair. Thank you.
Okay. We have a Senate investigation insofar as the Mama Sapano incident is concerned. And yet, the Senate knows the basic principle. They did not invite the President. Even Vice President Binay was invited by the Senate. And when Vice President Binay did not attend, no sanction or no action was taken by the Senate. If we would require the President right now to appear or even to answer, then Congress would be the most powerful body among the three co-equal branches of the government, because it creates a dangerous precedent. It becomes a precedent that future presidents, on the basis of what we are doing right now, would also be compelled. Even justices of the Supreme Court in the future would be compelled, because there is no reason why the number one elected public official has the obligation, and yet the Supreme Court would not be appearing before our investigation. Even us, we have the parliamentary courtesy. Members of Congress, congressmen, are not required to appear in our hearings, not even in the Senate. If the number one elected official would be required to appear, then there is no reason why other elected officials like congressmen and senators would be appearing before our congressional investigation. That is a very dangerous precedent. There would be repercussions. Thank you very much.
Well,
Mr. Chair,
before
Mr. Chair.
the Honorable Agabao,
Mr. Chair, my name was mentioned. May I make a brief reply, Mr. Chair? My name was mentioned.
The Honorable Sarate is raising
Mr. Chairman.
the Honorable Sarate is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Naintindihan po naman natin yung sinabi ni Congressman Barsaga na meron nga tayong separation of powers. Kaya po ang hinihilinga ng Makabayan Black ay imbitahan natin si Presidente Aquino dahil siya na rin po mismo nagsabi nung kanyang pambansang pakikipagtalumpati sa ating mamamayan na hindi siya tinanong man lang ng BOI. No, kahit nagpasabi sila kay Secretary Rojas, hindi raw napagsabihan ni Secretary Rojas si Presidente Aquino. Kaya ito yung pagkakataon na gusto nating maibigay sa Pangulo upang straight sagutin niya itong mga tanong ng mga kasamahan natin at nung 12 tanong na inihain na namin sa komite. Yun po yung pagkakahulugan ng sulat. Hindi ho natin nire-require. No? That's only an invitation. It's for the President to respond to that invitation and answer the questions, the 20 questions under oath. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, may I raise a point of order? May I raise a point of order, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, so what is the point
Mr.
of
Chairman,
order? Congressman Agabao.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. In response to the query from the Honorable Tino, the chairman made a ruling with respect to the set of questions presented before this committee. That is the initial ruling of this body as reflected by the chairman. Now, may I know if the Honorable Tino is appealing that ruling? If he is appealing, then he should say so that we can openly debate on that, no? But there's a procedure to debate on that. So my query, Mr. Chairman, is this. Is the gentleman from ACT teacher appealing the ruling of this chair so that we can debate on it?
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Yes, the Honorable Tino would like to react on the statement of, on the point of order that was raised by the Honorable Agabao.
Mr. Chair, if I may, I conferred with the Honorable Colmenares and he would like to make a proposal regarding the 20 questions, Mr. Chair.
No, please do answer the point of order that was raised by
Mr.
the
Chair,
Honorable.
Just
Yes,
let's
Honorable.
find a halfway measure here. Gusto natin matuloy ito, let's find a halfway measure here. Tama, we're just in fact giving the President an opportunity to answer. Invitation yon. Pag congressman maimbita sa Malacanang, it's not a violation of the equal branches of government. Pero now, Mr. Chair, ito ang aking compromise, Mr. Chair. We've sent a questionnaire to Malacanang and the committee. And we would just ask, instead of invitation na lang, that the President answer in a written form the questions, the 20 questions, and any other question that members of the committee would ask. We will no longer ask if the committee so thinks that it's bad to merely invite the President. At least we can send the written questions. And I heard last night, Mr. Chair, in fact, Malacanang is open to answering in a written form the 20 questions and other questions. So
Thank you, Ms.
I move, Mr. Chair, that we send
Thank you,
a letter
the
to
Honorable
Malacanang.
Colmenares, the points that you are raising had already been answered by the chair.
No, Mr.
But
Chair,
there
this
is
is different,
a
Mr.
point of
Chair.
order that was raised by the Honorable Agabao. If the Honorable Tino is appealing the motion, is the Honorable Tino appealing on so that also the chair could decide on the matter?
Mr. Chair, I did not make a motion. I made an inquiry.
Yes,
and
I already
received an
have answered that. And
Yes.
are you appealing the ruling of the chair?
I have
Well,
made a motion, Mr. Chair. I have made the motion just now. I move that we send the written questions to Malacanang and that the President is requested to answer in a written form the questions, Mr. Chair, the 20 questions and any other questions that the committee would ask. That is a very reasonable compromise, Mr. Chair. I so move, Mr. Chair, that this committee vote on that motion, Mr.
Before
Chair.
I
second
could
that,
ask,
Mr. Chair.
if I may, the chair would
Chairman.
like to reiterate the answer. I already have ruled that in line with the intention of questioning the President, the chair had already ruled. The first motion that was raised nung pong last meeting natin is to invite
Yes.
the President and question him.
Yes.
The same thing itong sulat, pareho po ng intention.
Magkaiba
To
po, hindi
question,
siya
pareho po
imbitahin
ng
po.
intention. Gusto nating tanungin ang Presidente. The same thing. Gusto ko pong i-rule, consistent with the first ruling, na napagbotohan na po natin ito at overwhelmingly bumoto yung majority House member ng committee na ito na hindi po natin iimbitahin at hindi po rin natin tatanungin ang Presidente.
Yes. Salamat
Maraming
po. I appeal the
So
ruling
kung
of the
meron
chair.
pong
I
appeal,
appeal the ruling of the chair, Mr. Chair.
So,
At sana po,
point of order, Mr. Chairman.
reasonable naman
Point
po
of
ang
order.
motion. Sana ipadala natin. Let the President decide whether or not to answer
1
these
minute
questions,
suspension.
Mr. Chair.
No, may I just, okay.
Pansamantala muna po nagpatawag ng 1-minute suspension itong si Representative Jim Hataman Saliman, ang chairman ng Committee on Special Committee on Peace, Reconciliation and Unity sa pagpapatuloy nga po nitong congressional hearing sa Mama Sapano incident na nangyari noong January 25. Bago po nito ay naghahain po ng motion si Party List Representative Nery Colmenares na ipadala na lamang yung sinasabi nilang 20 questions o 20 mga tanong para kay Pangulong Aquino. Ipadala na lamang daw ito ng Kongreso sa Malacanang para sagutin o kung hindi man sagutin ng Pangulo. Ito ay kaugnay pa rin ng pagtatanong ni Party List Representative Tony o Antonio Tino naman tungkol nga dito sa request ng Makabayan Black o ng pag-iimbita kay Pangulong Aquino sa pagdalo niya dito sa congressional hearing na ito sa Mama Sapano incident at kaugnay pa rin ng mga tanong ng Makabayan Black para sa Pangulo. Nauna lang sinabi ni Representative Jim Hataman Saliman na noong nauna pang congressional hearing noong February 11 ay nagkaroon na ng majority vote na hindi pwedeng imbitahan ang Pangulo sa congressional hearing niyan at hindi na raw kailangan pang i-expound o palawigin pa yung usapin na yan. Sinabi ni rin ni Cavite Representative Elpidio Barzaga na magkakaroon daw o posibleng magkaroon daw ng far-reaching consequences at magkakaroon ng dangerous precedents daw kung iimbitahan ang Pangulo. Balikan po natin ang congressional hearing.
On the written question,
On the
Mr.
written
no
question.
longer inviting the President. Just the
And
written.
there is a point of order that is going. The Honorable Barzaga is recognized.
Well, for the benefit of everybody, I would just to state that when an issue pertaining to point of order is concerned, there must be a violation of the rules of the House. And inasmuch as I have invoked a point of order, it presupposes that there has been a violation of our rules. And the rule violated was no other than Section 40 of Rule 9. Under Section 40 of Rule 9, under the caption reconsideration, and I quote, when a measure is adopted or lost, a member of the committee who voted with the majority may vote for its reconsideration during the same meeting or on the same or succeeding day after the meeting, in which case the motion for reconsideration shall be made in writing. Only one motion for reconsideration shall be allowed. And therefore, in this particular case, while it is the second day of hearing, as starting April 11, nonetheless, the motion for reconsideration or the appeal will be in violation of our rules because it was not in writing, and secondly, the movant was not part of the majority who approved the motion. Well,
Mr.
in
Chair.
any event, Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Chair,
if
I'm not
they want
moving for
May be
reconsideration.
permitted to complete. In any event, Mr. Chair, I'm willing to waive this rule if we can waive it legally in the interest of liberality and discuss further the motion.
Well, if I may hear again the Honorable
Yes, thank you,
Colmenares
Mr. Chair. I'm not
before,
asking for reconsideration of the previous motion that we invite the President. This is a new motion. To compromise naman tayo dito lang. Ang motion po, ipadala sa komite, sa Malacanang, ang mga katanungan, yun lang, para sagutin lang ni Presidente in a written form. We are no longer inviting him. It was duly seconded, so the motion is live, Mr. Chair. And we
Mr.
ask
Chair,
for a
I
vote.
object to the motion. Imagine, Mr. Chair, if 200 congressmen will be sending questions to the
wait
President.
for the Honorable Colmenares to finish his statement before any comment from any other members.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Hindi na ako magpahaba kasi gusto nating matuloy ang hearing. This is a very important prejudicial issue.
Yes,
At Presidente mismo ang humingi na gusto niyang sumagot. So, the House would be not respecting its constitutional duty to hear this case without sending that letter of questions, Mr. Chair. So, I so move that the committee decide to send these questions to the President, Mr. Chair. and ask for a written
may
reply
I
from the
recognize the
President.
Honorable Erice.
Mr. Chair, I object to the motion of
objection also. I object
Representative Colmenares
So-
simply because gusto lang pong hiyain ng Pangulo. Imagine kung 200
That is
congressman
extraneous to
ang
the debate.
magtatanong sa Pangulo,
Mr. Chair, ito
magpapadala
yung nanggugulo.
ng
Ito
sulat.
Ito yung
May
gulo dito,
suspension.
Mr. Chair eh. Parang biglang nagkagulo dahil may mga
1 minute
insinuation.
suspension.
It's a very reasonable motion, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chairman,
Nag-compromise na nga ako, Mr. Chair, tapos pahiyain pa ang
1
President.
minute
Chairman.
suspension po. 1 minute suspension. 1 minute suspension.
Sino minute suspension ng committee po na nagdumidinig dyan sa Mama sa Pano, enkwentro sa Mama sa Pano noong January 25. At bago po yung suspension na yan, ay muli pong nagsalita si Party List Representative Nery Colmenares at nililinaw po niya na ang kanilang inihahain lamang ay new motion o bagong motion daw po at ito ay iba na doon sa naging motion kung saan nagkaroon na ng desisyon ang komite noong nakaraang congressional hearing at para sa kanila ay mas importante o ang hinihiling
Kaya let's proceed with the
ay
meeting.
ipadala ang mga tanong nila para sa
May
Pangulong
appeal po
Aquino.
doon
Balikan
sa
po natin
atin,
ang
the
pagdinig.
Honorable, ng Makabayan Black at may motion si Honorable Colmenares. Binibigyan may objection din po si Honorable Erice and so with Congressman Fariñas. Binibigyan ko po ng magkabilang panig ng 4 minutes para ipaliwanag yung motion at sagutin din yung magkabilang panig.
Ako po, hindi na po ako
Mr.
tatagal
Chairman.
kasi we want to go straight to the
Mr.
hearing.
Chairman,
Ang sinasabi
may I be
ko
heard?
lang, the President is or has mentioned, gusto niyang sagutin, sinisi niyang BOI, hindi niya malang ako inimbita. Ngayon, this Congress is bound to give that President the chance to answer. So the motion stands, Mr. Chair. Hindi na ako magpahaba ng 4 minutes. That is the position
Chair,
of the Makabayan Black, Mr. Chair.
Remind the members of this committee that we are not liberated with our rules. Since for the sake of unity, the chair allows you to discuss this issue.
Mr. Chairman, may I
The
request for a clear
President called
statement
the
of the
Senate
parliamentary
report
status,
as
Mr.
a
Chairman.
speculation, Mr. Chair. We don't want the President to call this congressional hearing a speculation also because we refused to invite him. Binira niya ang Senado, hindi niya walang ko tinanong. Tapos ngayon, pahayaan natin ang sarili natin na mabira din, masisi ng Presidente later on. You didn't even give me an opportunity. This is a very reasonable motion, Mr. Chair. Hindi na nga nag-i-invite, Mr. Chair. So, I hope our colleagues in the majority would not put this to a vote. Simple lang naman, ipadala lang ang questions and let the President decide whether to answer or not, especially since sinabi niya na kagabi ng Malacanang, we're willing to reply in a written form. Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Any reaction from the
Mr. Chair,
opposing side?
yes, may I explain my objection? Mr.
Your
Chair,
Honorable Erice.
it would really be impossible if 200 congressmen will be allowed to ask questions to the President. Hindi lang naman Makabayan Black ang Kongreso. Kung papayagan sila magpadala ng 20 questions, ano makakapigil sa bawat isa dito sa Kongreso na ito na magpadala rin ng tigda 20 katanungan? At ito po ay panghihiya lamang sa ating Pangulo. Hindi pa po tapos ang ating hearing. Wala pa tayong mga conclusions. We have invited speakers, resource persons here. Bakit hindi muna natin tanungin sila? At after we concluded with the investigation, then maybe that's the time to fill the gap. If there's a need to ask question to the President, I think that's the time to ask question. Pero ngayon, hindi pa naman tapos ang ating hearing. Andito nga yung mga resource persons, baka yung mga tanong na gusto tanong ng Makabayan Black, ngayon pa lang masagot na ng mga resource person natin.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you,
ang
Mr.
tanong,
Chair.
for example, Mr. Chair, bakit mo hinayaan, first question, bakit mo hinayaan ang isang suspendidong general na mamahala sa operasyon? None of the resource persons can answer that.
May I
Mr.
remind
Chair, I call for a vote na lang, Mr. Chair.
May I remind the Honorable Colmenares before reacting to any statement by others, do please ask the chairman
Apologize, Mr. Chair.
recognize you.
Apologize.
Anyway, the Honorable Pariñas
Mr.
is
Chairman, may I be recognized?
recognized to
Mr.
give
Chairman.
state-
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair, may I be
that, I am
recognized?
allowed to
Yes,
explain
the Honorable Defensor.
the floor.
Mr. May we have a clear statement of the parliamentary status, Mr. Chairman? Because to my knowledge, the parliamentary status is that earlier, the Congressman Colmenares raised a matter of collective privilege which pertains to the powers of the committee to send questions to Malacanang. So the ruling of the chair was in the negative. Congressman Colmenares appealed the ruling of the chair. In the interim, the Honorable Barzaga raised a point of order because he said you cannot move for reconsideration of a ruling that was already made during the previous hearing because according to Congressman Barzaga, Congressman Colmenares was moving for a reconsideration instead of a motion. So may we first request for a ruling on the point of order raised by Congressman Barzaga and then for a ruling on the appeal, and if not, we can vote on the appeal. Then we can proceed, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
We
I
need
agree,
a clear
Mr. Chair.
statement of the parliamentary status so that we can proceed, Mr. Chairman. That's the only way we can proceed in an orderly
parliamentary
manner.
status is that yung pong motion ni Congressman Colmenares na i-appeal yung letter na kung pwede ipadala sa Malacanang, and the chair rules that we already have agreed on that on the previous meeting. But even then, dahil gusto nga natin matuloy na yung pinagbibigyan po natin ng both sides kasi may nag-object doon sa motion. So ang po dito is that kung tapos na po yung bawat isa, yung opposing sides na magbigay ng statement, hindi po natin pwedeng yung rules, hindi po pwede natin hindi pagbobotohan. Kailangan po natin pagbobotohan dahil may opposing sides.
Then I move
so
for vote,
now,
Mr.
then I move for the votation of the motions that had been moved by the Honorable Colmenares.
Mr. Chairman,
The
how about
motion,
my objection? May I explain my objection?
yes, the Honorable Fariñas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Kasi po, napaka-importanteng bagay po ito na medyo hindi natin napapansin na mabuti. They want to ask questions to the President. Hindi po pwede yan eh. Under our present Constitution and jurisprudence, the President cannot be made to answer any question except through impeachment. Kasi po ang Presidente may immunity from suit po yan eh. Kaya mali rin po yung BOI, pati, na gustong tanungin si Presidente, hindi po pwedeng imbestigahan ng sino si Presidente. Ang pwede lamang po magtanong sa Pangulo ay ang House of Representatives sa impeachment po. Kasi po, ang Presidente mag-isa po yan eh. That's why, while in office, he cannot be sued. Maski husgado po, hindi pwedeng padalhan ng superior, ni hindi nga po pwedeng idemanda eh. Halimbawa, gusto mong ihabla si Pangulo, maghahabla ka. I-dismiss ka agad ng husgado yan dahil kung mananagot po ang Pangulo sa bawat reklamo ng isang mamayan, hindi na siya makakapagtrabaho. Dahil siya po nagpapatupad sa lahat ng batas ng buong bansa. He is one chief executive. So, halimbawa, may nasagasaan dyan, may nabagyo rito, idedemanda si President. Not even the courts, with its compulsory process of subpoena, can require the President to answer. Subukan po ninyo. Doon po sa isang kaso na rubriko, gusto pong i-writ of amparo ang Presidente. Dahil sabi po nila, sa kasulukuyang saligang batas, wala na ngayon yung immunity from suit of the President. Ano po sabi ng Supreme Court? 2 minutes lang po ito para maliwanagan po ito. Napaka-importante po ito. Sabi po ng Supreme Court, the petitioners are mistaken dahil ang kanilang teorya po, wala nang immunity ang suit from the President. So sabi ng Supreme Court dito po sa kaso ng anak ng Mindanao, Quaresma, ito po ang rubriko versus the CA. Ang sabi po ng Supreme Court, petitioners are mistaken. The presidential immunity from suit remains preserved under our system of government, albeit not expressly reserved in the present Constitution. Addressing a concern of his co-members in the 1986 Constitutional Commission on the matter, Father Bernas observed that it was already understood in jurisprudence that the President may not be sued during his or her tenure. The court subsequently made it abundantly clear in David versus Macapagal Arroyo, a case likewise resolved under the umbrella of the 1987 Constitution. Ito po sinabi ng Supreme Court. Settled is the doctrine that the President, during his tenure of office or actual incumbency, may not be sued in any criminal or civil case, and there is no need to provide for it in the Constitution or law. It will degrade the dignity of the high office of the President, the head of state, if he can be dragged into court litigations while serving as such. Furthermore, it is important that he be freed from any form of harassment, hindrance, or distraction to enable him to fully attend to the performance of his official duties and functions. Unlike the legislative and judicial branch, only one constitutes the executive branch, and anything which impairs his usefulness in the discharge of the many great and important duties of the imposed upon him by the Constitution necessarily impairs the operation of government. So sa madalit salita po, hindi po natin pwedeng pasagutin si Presidente kasi po, sabi na nga ni Kong Erice, sa dami po ng committee, kung lahat po ay magtatanong sa Presidente, hindi na po makakapagtrabaho yan. So maliwanag po yan, whether we write to him a letter, whether we summon him, we cannot do it, not even the courts can do it. So let's not make that very clear. Hindi po natin pwedeng gawin po.
Thank you, Honorable Pariñas. Before po nagsasalita pa po yung chairman, before po na nagsalita si Honorable Pariñas, the chair had already decided na pagbobotohan na po natin yung motion. And with that, any other comments, saka na po pagkatapos ng botohan. So, sino po yung pabor doon sa motion ni
We just have to clarify who can vote, ha?
Yes.
Sinong pwedeng bumoto, sinong hindi, sinong member ng committee, Mr. Chair.
Well, ang malinaw po kanina, first, yung member lang ng committee at saka yung deputized, no? Ex officio. Second is that hiwalay yung botohan. First is yung public law and order, and second is yung Peace and Reconciliation Committee. So mauna po yung public law and order. Thank you.
May I clarify the motion?
Mr. Chair, before we proceed, can I just make a manifestation? I wanted to do this much earlier, but parang we're going so fast. Can we please acknowledge the presence of the SAF widows and family? They are here, and I think we failed to do so when we were introducing our resource people. I think it's but proper to mention and recognize their presence. Thank you po.
Okay. Para matapos na. Okay. Wala
Mr.
kaming
Chair,
list.
you don't...
Wala kaming list.
Ah,
We would like to
I think
acknowledge the presence of the widows.
Mr. Chair, I think it would be easy to say the families and the widows of the SAF 44.
After the votation. Kindly, Congressman
Ang
Colmenares,
motion
kindly,
po
repeat
ni
your
Honorable
motion.
Colmenares ay yung appeal na kung pwede po ipadala yung sulat. And yung questions na 20 question at nag-object po si Honorable Erice at Fariñas. So the chair decided that to put into votation. So the first to vote is
Clarification, Mr. Chairman.
the first to vote is the public law and order, and the next is the
Public safety.
public safety.
Clarification, Mr. Chairman, regarding the motion. Kasi ang motion ba, ipadadala lang kay Pangulo yung sulat? O kailangan ipadala yung sulat, kinakailangan sagutin ni Pangulo, at kung sasagutin ni Pangulo, yung bang sagot ay under oath. And that is the clarification which we want because we
The
are
motion
voting
is
on a very
the
important
committee
mission.
send the list of questions and request, if possible, the President can reply. Of course, it's the decision of the President whether to reply to all or some or none at all. But at least the committee has fulfilled its function. Ganun lang po kasimple ang motion. And I really hope this is not a suit. In David versus Arroyo, the Supreme Court said na the President is immune from civil and criminal charges. This is not a criminal charge. This is not a civil charge. So this is a simple asking of a list of answers to a list of questions. Yun lang po kasimple. And I really hope that the committee will rule in favor of the power of this House, the constitutional power to hear this case, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congressman Colmenares. On the part of Public Order and Safety, who's in favor of the motion, please stand up. The
Mr.
members
Chair.
of the Public Order and Safety who are in favor of the motion to send the question, to write the question, or to answer the question, send to Malacañang. Please rise.
Mr. Chair.
Those who are against the motion, please rise. Members of the Committee on Public Order and Safety. Thank you very much. Those against have it on the part of Committee on Public Order and Safety.
On the part
The
of
motion is lost. On
the part of the Special Committee on Peace and Reconciliation and Unity, those who are in favor of the motion of the Honorable Colmenares, please rise. And those who are against, the member of the Special Committee on Peace and members, those who are against, those who are against.
Those who are against.
Those who are against.
Mr. Chair, dalawang boto kasi I'm a member of both eh.
Ah, you
Ganun
can.
ba yun? So I can still stand. Okay. Count me positive.
Okay, the ayes have it. Thank you. 14 is on the negative and 3 on the positive. Thank you. The motion is lost.
Thank you,
May I
Mr.
now
Chair.
turn over again the chair to the Honorable Ferrer.
Mr. Chair.
Before we continue, we will acknowledge the presence of the widows of SAF 44. Kindly stand up. Relatives. Thank you very much. And also, the presence of Congressman Tambunting and Congressman Lanete and also Congressman Batocabe. Now, let's proceed with
Mr.
our
Chairman,
hearing.
Mr. Chairman, I'm also present, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chair.
Yes, Congressman, you are recognized. And also,
Mr. Chair.
yes, after you. No. Yes, Congressman Lubrigat.
We were just, we finished voting on the issue of inviting the president. We would have wanted to not have a vote because that is divisive. Because anyway, the president really has executive privilege. And I'm sure Malacañang is watching. And if Malacañang wants to send any answer, it is the president's prerogative. But anyway, we have voted. But I would like to call to the attention of the committee that there are other invited guests that do not have executive privilege. And they are not present today. One of them is Professor Miriam Coronel Ferrer, whose presence is very, very important in this hearing and the subsequent hearing. So may I know from OPAP what is the reason? And I don't think we should have any excuse. And I will go on to the other list, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, the Honorable
Your Honor, she is coming. She just had to finish one engagement. She is coming.
Okay. Mr. Chair, another invited guest was Honorable Iqbal, the chairman of the MILF panel, the Bangsamoro Transition Committee. I do not think he is present today. In fact, when the Senate conducted its hearings on the first and even the second day, almost all the senators made an issue of the non-presence of the MILF. And other invited guests that the Secretary did not read the name. I don't know if they are here. They might be here, but I think Colonel Feliciano, Colonel De Rosario, Police Superintendent, Senior Superintendent Mendez, Police Senior Sir Hendrik Magalang, Magaldang, the commandant of the 4th Battalion. Also, we have invited Police Inspector Raymond Train, Police Senior Inspector Abellera, Police Senior Inspector Lyndon Espe, PO2 Lloyd Ensoy, SPO2 Tebeng, PO2 Lalang, and I understand the invitation was also sent to Romel Magno of the 84th, also to Police Chief Inspector Raymond Cabiling, the medical legal, who can testify on the autopsy, and also Police Senior Inspector Aranas. May I know from the Secretariat if they are present?
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Secretary, you are recognized.
Mr. Chair, with respect to the inquiry of the gentleman from Zamboanga City, I recognize some of the names as being active operatives of the SAF who actually participated in the Mama Sapano incident. No? For security reasons, because they were active frontline participants, they are not, should the House wish to meet with them in executive and secret session, they would be very happy to comply. But it is not wise to show their faces and their identities because they were active participants in this operation, and therefore are subject to retribution or revenge by others. No? So I just bring that to the attention of the committee, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Secretary Rojas. Yes, Congressman.
Yes, definitely we understand and we agree with the Secretary. It is just that we wanted to know if they would be present and they would be available for the executive sessions, but this would only refer to the active SAP members that participated during the Mama Sapano incident. But others like the Police Chief Inspector Raymond Cabaling, the medical legal, and Police Inspector Aranas, and others from the armed forces should be present. That's why we are asking if they are present, except those that participated in the Mama Sapano, which will be heard in executive session.
Mr. Chairman, with respect to those who actively participated, including the planning of the operation, we would be happy to make them available. We will await the communication from the committee, and they will be available subject to the security precautions for their own personal safety. All others are. I do not speak for them. With respect to Chief Sup na, di ba? Chief Sup na si Mendez. With respect to Chief Sup Mendez, he runs the intelligence operation of the PNP, the IG, and likewise, we would want for him to also face the committee in executive session, not in open session, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Secretary Rojas. Now we will send the invitation when we have executive session. But
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair.
Yes,
Am I
Congresswoman,
recognized, Mr. Chair? Just a brief inquiry, Mr. Chair, since we are on the issue of resource persons. May I just know if the Department of Foreign Affairs would also be invited, since they were the first to deny the involvement of the American troops, Mr. Chair?
We did not send invitation to the,
Mr. Chair.
maybe in the next hearing.
Mr. Chair, we still have another day. Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Chair. Yeah, how about the MILF, Muhammad Iqbal, who is not here? And there are so many questions that need to be asked. In the last meeting, it was Mr. Ladyasan, who was a member of the CCCH of the MNLF, which is also a very, very important component in this inquiry. So nobody from the MILF is present. So how can we really conduct a probe to ferret out the truth if nobody from the MILF is here?
Well, just for the information of the members of these two committees, the Secretariat had sent an invitation to Muhammad Iqbal, particularly for this hearing, and unluckily we did not receive any response from them, just so that the committees would also know that we make an effort out of it.
We cannot just be saying unluckily if he just does not appear. When he did not appear in the Senate, this was a very, very big issue, and even the senators were saying that if he does not appear, then the committee hearings on even the BBL will not be heard.
Well, for
Well,
the
you know, if he
information
can-
of the Honorable Rodriguez, I think it is not to be fair with the committee and so with the Secretariat and the Chair, it is, I think, not the fault of this committee for not for the MILF not being around. But the thing that we can do is to ask them why are they not sending any representative to this hearing.
Chair, I am not blaming the committee. The committee is not at fault. But the presence of the MILF is required in this committee hearing because they are the other party, the other side. So if they are invited to a committee hearing, they respected the Senate. On the third and all the other hearings, Chairman Iqbal was present. But here, this is the second hearing, and everybody knows that we might only have two hearings today and tomorrow, and he refuses to be here. I think the committee should make a stronger stand. If you want, Mr. Chairman, can I move for a 1-minute suspension?
Before the minutes suspension, I really respect the sentiments of the Honorable Rodriguez, since really the chair, both the chair of the committees have really done a lot just so that they can be invited. And with that, we agree with the minute suspension.
Muli pong nagpatawag ng 1-minute suspension ng Kongreso. Kaugnay pa rin po yan ang pagpapatuloy ng congressional hearing sa Mama sa Pano o enkwentro sa Mama sa Pano noong January 25. At kanina lamang po ay kinuwestiyon ni Representative Celso Lobregat ang kung bakit wala po dyan sa pagdinig na yan si MILF Chief Negotiator Muhammad Iqbal. At ayon kay Representative Lobregat, required daw po ang presence niya o ang pagdalo ni Chairman Iqbal dyan sa pagdinig na yan. Kung hindi, ay hindi naman po daw, mahihirapan daw pong umusad ang pagdinig dahil hindi makukuha ang panig ng MILF. At kaugnay din to ay tinanong din po ni Congressman Lobregat kung nasaan naman si Chief Negotiator for the Government na si Attorney Miriam Coronel Ferrer at ayon naman kay Secretary Jing Deles ng OPAP. Siya raw po ay may prior engagement lamang po na dinadaluhan ngayong umaga at pipilitin naman daw o susunod naman daw diyan sa pagdinig niyan. Inyo pa rin pong napapanood ang pagpapatuloy ng congressional hearing sa insidente o sa engkwentrong naganap sa Mama Sapano sa Maguindanao noong January 25. Ito po ay pinangungunahan ng Joint Committee ng Committee on Public Order and Safety at ng Special Committee on Peace, Reconciliation and Unity. Kani-kanina lamang po ay bahagyang nagkaroon ng palitan ng sagutan sa pagitan ni Caloocan City Representative Edgar Erice at ni Party List Representative Nery Colmenares kung saan kinwestiyon ang pagpapadala ng tanong kay Pangulong Aquino. Balikan po natin ang pagdinig.
Honorable Lobregat, maybe we could make another invitation with I think making some statement on the invitation that we are not really happy with what they are doing for not being here today.
We are very displeased.
We are displeased if that is the pleasure of the Honorable Lobregat.
And
Thank you.
may I
Not
make
only-
another to
Mr.
add
Chairman,
to
I'd like
Congressman
to the floor.
Lobregat, right now they are in a FOCAP, which is a press conference. So if they can be there, I don't understand why is that more important than being here? At least give us some respect.
Noted,
Mr.
Congresswoman Cojuangco.
Yeah. It is not that we are not only unhappy, we are very displeased. And also, by not showing up, they are waiving the right. Once we come up with the committee report and whatever findings we have, they should not question it because they refuse to be present. And finally, they are not pushing their agenda. They are wanting to pass the BBL. By their not being present here today in this hearing, they are showing a very, very antagonistic stand toward the House of Representatives.
You noted, Honorable Lobregat, we will send a letter again and putting those words that was mentioned by the Honorable Lobregat.
Mr. Chairman, for the record, can I put this into a motion? Strongly urging the
Minute suspension.
How will you communicate to them that we are very displeased that their presence is
Patuloy pa rin pong pinag-uusapan dyan sa congressional hearing on the Mama Sapano incident kung bakit po wala sa pagdinig na yan ngayon si MILF Chief Negotiator Muhaguer Iqbal. Ito po ay kinwestiyon ni Representative Celso Lobregat at sinagot naman po ng komite o sa pangunguna ni Representative Jim Hataman Saliman na nagpadala naman daw ng invitation ang Committee on o Special Committee on Peace, Reconciliation and Unity at unluckily, and I quote, unluckily, ang sinabi ni Representative Hataman Saliman ay hindi raw sumagot ang panig ng MILF sa imbitasyon na ito. Balikan po natin ang pagdinig sa Kongreso tungkol sa Mama Sapano
Mr. Chair,
incident.
May I inform the Honorable Lobregat that the Army officers who were mentioned earlier are present. Colonel Feliciano, please stand up. Colonel Del Rosario, Lieutenant Panamogan, Lieutenant Rivera, Lieutenant Banoya Jr., Lieutenant Mateo. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair.
Sir?
The Honorable Lobregat and then the Honorable Mangudadato.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Upon consultation with the chairman, they assured us that we don't need to put it into a motion. However, a letter will be written by the committee expressing what has been stated earlier, that we are displeased that more or less by not being present here today, they are waiving the right. And if we come up with a report, they should not question it. And also, by not being present here today, they are not pushing the agenda of trying to pass the BBL.
Noted.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, the Honorable Mangudadat.
Just Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, we have in the invitation list, we have marked the members of the operatives, and so we will give this to the chair so that if should you wish to invite this personnel, then we will arrange it. But these are the personnel who were directly involved in the planning and execution of the operation.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Honorable Marojas. Please submit those that are listed in the notes. And next to be recognized is the Honorable Mangudadato.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Next is Congresswoman Garcia.
Last hearing, Mr. Chair, I made also a short manifestation with regard to the resource person that we invited, especially the mayors of the SPMS box, the mayors of Mama Sapano, the Sheriff sa Iduna, Sultan sa Barongis, and other mayor. So their presence, Mr. Chair, I think is very essential as to get more essential facts that we may not aware. So may I request, Mr. Chair, to re-invite the mayors of the SPMS box?
For the information of the Honorable from the 2nd District of Maguindanao, the Honorable Mayor of Mama Sapano had written us and regret in attending this particular hearing. If the chair would like to be permitted to read this, is the letter of the Honorable Ampatuan. And so with the other that was suggested during the last meeting, the chair had decided to compress the invitation because we cannot really accommodate those that are not really very, very important that can sufficiently help us in pursuing this investigation. So, for the information of the Honorable Mangudadato, the Municipal Mayor of Mama Sapano had wrote this committee regretting that he cannot and apologizing that he cannot attend this hearing today.
Mr. Chair.
The ruling of the chair is that hindi namin alam kung sino pa yung gusto ninyo i-invite eh. Paki-submit na lang sa secretariat because meron pa naman tayo hearing bukas. Pag nasambit nyo na yung mga pangalan na gusto ninyo imbitahan, this afternoon, gawa namin ng invitation para padala na. Para maka-resume na tayo. Kasi we had already so much discussion about some issues, pero nandito yung mga resource person natin, we will take advantage of their time. So, the last person, yes, Congresswoman Garcia, and then we will proceed with our inquiry.
Thank you, Mr.
Yes.
Chair. Just a clarification,
And
Mr.
after
Chair.
Congresswoman Garcia, Congressman Pagdilaw.
I understand that we have scheduled 2 hearings, one for today and one for tomorrow. May we know if all of our invited resource speakers or persons will be present for both days so that we congressmen will be guided accordingly when we shall be asking questions of the resource speakers who are present today but may not be present tomorrow.
Thank you.
And my second question is, we have acknowledged the presence of the Mama Sapano widows and members of the family, may we know if some congressmen may have some questions to ask from them, would they be allowed to answer in the person of a spokesperson? Those are my two questions, Mr. Chair.
First is we just forgot to inform the members that the secretary of the ILG had wrote us a letter that he will not be present tomorrow because of some activities in other provinces. So the chair would suggest that if any questions that is going to be asked to the Honorable Secretary, we advise the members to question it now. To the second question by the Honorable Garcia, ang pag-invite po sa mga pamilya ng Mama Sapano, pamilya ng Mama Sapano victim ay bisita lang po, hindi para as resource person. So understandably, hindi po pwede tanungin yung pamilya ng mga kamag-anak ng Mama Sapano. Maraming salamat po.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, may I be acknowledged? Tapos na po.
Pwede na ba mag-proceed? Sayang yung oras natin.
Just one last question, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
The BOI and the Senate have both come up with their own reports. May we make references to both?
Yes, definitely.
Mr. Chair, may I be acknowledged?
Congressman Pagdilaw.
Yeah, this is in relation to what the gentlewoman from Cebu just said or inquired. Actually, Mr. Chair, this inquiry was suspended to give way to the BOI inquiry. And we've been informed by the committee secretariat that they are now in possession of the report, records of the BOI. So in that regard, Mr. Chairman, we know that we are constrained by time and we need to speed up the proceedings. I now move that we adopt as part of the records of this committee investigation the records of the BOI and the Senate records of their investigation, and to include the speeches of the President uttered or spoken in relation to the Mama Sapano incident, Mr. Chairman.
I second.
Thank you, Congressman Pagdilaw. There's a motion and duly seconded. Objection?
The inclusion of the BOI in the Senate, does this include the affidavits? Because, the affidavits,
All records.
the persons that were asked in the Mama Sapano will help us even in the questioning. Because if we are satisfied with the affidavits, then we don't need to ask further questions. But if we have certain questions on the affidavit, then we can go direct to the affidavits, and this will shortcut or shorten the process. So can we have also the affidavits of the resource persons, especially those resource persons that are present? So at least we can
the
go
records
direct.
of the BOI
Yes.
and the Senate are included.
Yes. So can we have, even for tomorrow, the affidavits of those resource persons that are present? So at least we can ask them directly already. Okay. Would that be possible? I think General Magalong can answer that question.
Your
Yes,
Honor, we
General
have
Magalong.
included in our report that were submitted to the HOR were copies of the 367, were copies of the sworn statements of 367 affiants. It was already submitted to the House of
Mr.
Representatives,
Chairman.
Your Honor.
Mr. Chairman, here, to your left. I am a congressman, not a general anymore.
Yun.
Former, yes. Mr. Chairman, there is a motion for us to adopt the investigation reports of the BOI and the inquiry of the Senate. I have the copies of these two documents, but in the form of summaries. If the motion to adopt this does not include the truth and the wisdom of the findings, for example, the findings of the Senate, there are 17 findings and there are 10 recommendations. I would understand, Mr. Chairman, that we are not adopting these findings and conclusions. We are accepting the submissions of this as references when we finally make our own committee reports. Is that the understanding, Mr. Chairman?
Thank you,
Mr. Chair.
Honorable Biazon. From my understanding of the motion is that we are only adopting the records and the facts, but not the conclusion and the analysis of those that are the institutions that were mentioned. So we are only adopting the facts, and so with other records, affidavits, as being mentioned by the Honorable Pagdilaw. So is there any objection to the motion?
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Honorable Defensor.
May I be clarified? So we are adopting the facts as stated in those documents as established in these proceedings likewise, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, the Honorable
Chair.
Pagdilaw.
Let me just clarify my motion, Mr. Chair. What I'm raising is for this committee, the joint committees, to include in our record, especially so that we need all of this when we come up with our committee report. But we are not bound by the conclusion of or the findings of these reports or investigation reports, whether it's the BOI, the Senate, and even the up-and-coming report that will be submitted by the Department of Justice, Mr. Chairman. And when we say records of all, this will include even the affidavits, everything that has been made part of the records of this investigation conducted by both BOI and the Senate, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman,
Is the Honorable Defensor already satisfied with the answer by the Honorable Pagdilaw?
Thank you for the clarification, Mr. Chairman. But as I understand it, we can only adopt evidence here because those records will be considered as evidence, as documentary evidence. If the members of the committee will have a chance to ask questions or technically to cross-examine the persons who wrote those documents or who were responsible for executing those documents. That is the reason why I have my misgivings as to the adoption of those documents. If we invite the persons who executed those documents to appear here and they submit those documents, we can adopt them as part of the records. But if we adopt them as part of the records, they automatically become evidence in this committee, Mr. Chairman. And the members of our honorable colleagues did not have a chance to ask questions, Mr. Chairman.
Is there any reaction? Yes, the Deputy Speaker.
if we adopt these records, then we are bound by it. Perhaps we can say as merely a reference, but to adopt it, we are bound by it. And we are not given a chance to cross-examine or what. So on the adoption, I object. But merely as a reference, I will have no objection.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chairman, may I make a manifestation, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, the Honorable Pagdilaw is recognized.
this representation expressed his intent, what he means by the adoption of these records as part of the reports of the BOI and the Senate as part of the records is exactly what has been explained. So if the insertion of the word adopted for purposes of reference, then I'll amend that, Mr. Chairman, to clarify my motion, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, in that case, I will withdraw my apprehension or objection to the motion of the gentleman, Mr. Chairman.
Any second to the motion that was being moved by? Okay. The motion is approved. Can we now proceed with the proper hearing so that, while having our lunch, we can now proceed with the hearing. Thank you.
Yan pa rin po ang pagpapatuloy ng pagdinig sa House Committee on Public Order and Safety at ang House Committee on Peace, Unity and Reconciliation. Kanina alas 10 pa po nagsimula itong pagdinig na ito, pero hanggang ngayon ay hindi pa po nagsisimula yung pagtatanong sa mga resource persons na inimbitahan ng naturang dalawang komite patungkol pa rin nga po sa Mama Sapano incident dahil pa rin sa napakaraming isyong kinailangan nilang resolbahin bago magsimula yung tanungan. Balikan po natin ang pagdinig. Okay, ito po yung mga eksena kanina pagkatapos sa magbukas nitong hearing tungkol pa rin po sa Mama Sapano incident. Unang tinalakay ang kahilingan ng Makabayan Bloc na imbitahan si Pangulong Aquino para sumagot sa ilang katanungan patungkol pa rin sa naturang insidente, pero agad itong inalmahan ng mga kaalyado ng Pangulo. At sa halip ay humiling na lamang itong Makabayan Bloc na kung pwede ay sumagot na lamang sa pamamagitan ng pagsulat ang Palasyo ng Malacanang tungkol sa kanilang mga katanungan, partikular ang 20 tanong na nauna na nilang naipadala sa Palasyo ng Malacanang. Ayon sa Makabayan Bloc, total ay payag naman daw ang Pangulo at ang Palasyo na sumagot sa mga issue na ito. Ito ay matapos sabihin ng Pangulong Aquino na hindi man lang siya tinanong at kinonsulta ng Board of Inquiry ng PNP at ng Senado bago sila maglabas ng kanilang resulta tungkol sa insidente. Kung kaya't ayon sa Makabayan Bloc, sana naman ay matanong na ng komite ng Kongreso ang Pangulo para hindi sila mapulaan kapag sila naman ang naglabas ng resulta ng kanilang investigasyon. Pero ito ay pinagbotohan at natalo ang mosyon ng Makabayan Bloc. Isa rin sa ikinagalit ng ilan sa mga kongresista ay hindi pagdalo ng mga kinatawan ng More Islamic Liberation Front sa pagdinig na ito at pinunto pa ng isa sa mga kongresista na siya ay ng kinatawan ng MILF ay nasa isang press conference pero piniling hindi dumalo sa pagdinig ng Kongreso kung kaya sana daw ay respetuhin naman ang mababang kapulungan ng Kongreso at sana ay dumalo sa pagdinig na ito na nagsimula kanina ng alas 10 ng umaga. 2 araw ang pagdinig na schedule na ito ngayon at bukas. Pero hanggang sa ngayon po, mga kapuso, hindi pa nga rin nagsisimula yung formal na tanungan dun sa kanilang mga naimbitahang mga resource persons mula sa AFP, mula sa PNP at mula sa DILG. Ayon sa mga kongresista, napakarami kasing mga rules and regulations na kailangan nilang resolbahin para maging mas smooth ika nga yung kanilang pagdinig at may mga tanong yung ilan sa mga kongresista kung i-adapt ba yung yung resulta ng pagdinig, yung kaisa-isang pagdinig ng kumiting ito noong Pebrero, ilang linggo pagkatapos ng Mama Sapano incident.